chilling, and someone who we don't oftentimes get to speak to. We've got DJ from Bleed. DJ, congratulations on the win.
Thanks.
We don't get to talk to you that often. I'm glad we got the interview. Who forced you into this interview?
Yeah, I was trying to dodge the interview as best as I could.
Gotta lose some games for that, man.
Yeah,
really get to you eventually.
If you really want to dodge interviews, then you have to stop winning. That's the solution. But for right now, if you are going to keep winning and you are going to keep being our MVP, I don't know if you saw it, but you were MVP for both games this series. Hell of a performance.
Really?
Which game did you have more fun in? Your game 1 or this game 2 on the Coddle?
Game 1 was way fun because we were playing the late game and my build was like the dream build for Wind Ranger.
Did you know that you were going to be playing for the late game, though? Because we saw the Octarine, and at first we were like, oh, maybe he should be building Lotus. And then our assumption was that you were having such a fun time in that game that you were like, oh, screw it, I'll build an Octarine.
We kind of know that it's going to be a late game, so I was talking about how I wanted to scale.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you knew at like what you completed the Octarine at like 25 minutes. So you knew at 25 minutes this is going to be a 60-minute game.
No, it's just my Wind Ranger build.
Oh, okay. Well, it looked very entertaining.
It looked fun to play.
Yeah.
If anything, I want to make that my Wind Ranger build.
Yeah, it's a fun one.
You got questions?
I am
John?
curious about something, DJ. You know, game 1 did drag on for a while. It's an illusion hero fight. How do you guys manage it in comms? How do you guys even figure out what's happening in that kind of game there?
I'm not sure actually, because the game was so laggy. Like there's PL and beast drums. Like the game was just so laggy. I guess we're just playing the team fight as best as we can.
Yeah, that makes sense.
10 FPS.
That tends to happen when you've got PL and Dusa up, PL Naga up there. Now, I am curious, you know, you've been on Bleed for 2 tours. Now, what do you think is the biggest difference for you in this tour? Like, in your perspective, what's changed with the team?
I guess we're more established now as a team. We kind of know how each other wants to play. And with Misery going in, he kind of solidized our strategy.
Right? Yeah. It has been looked that way.
I have a personal question. You've played for Fnatic for, I would say, 90% of your Dota career. How does it feel to finally be playing for a different org after those 7 years?
I don't know. I don't really feel much difference, actually. I actually just keep playing Dota. Like, it's the same thing. Just another day in the office, you know.
I have a question to ask on top of that. Does it help that Neil is still around with you?
No.
No?
I mean, it's good to have a Pinoy. Right?
Oh.
Like, you can talk
I'm going to tell Neil to
anytime.
look at this interview for sure. He's going to be heartbroken.
You see, maybe you only feel this way because there is some consistency between the 2 orgs. Whereas maybe if you went to some other, like, I think we've asked you this before, but you're not too keen on ever changing regions, right? You're pretty set on staying in Southeast Asia, right?
Honestly, I was. Like, I mean, I don't even know where that came from. Like,
yeah, I was curious too. I don't remember you doing an interview where you ever said that, but there was just this propaganda. So that has not been the case for you. You would be willing to change regions if the right offer came.
I mean, I like my team now, so.
Sure. Yes.
I guess not.
Right now, life is good, but like in a post TI shuffle, it is encouraging to know that you would be willing to, you know, explore other options.
Yeah, I mean, it was always like that. Yeah.
Good. I'm glad we have cleared the air now. This is why you got to do more interviews,
That's
DJ.
true.
You got to clear your name.
Talk to you often enough, DJ. You know, you always dodge, but you never could dodge when we had those weekly interviews. Now,
That's what DJ stands for.
it is dodge, pretty much. We get freed of DJ instead of him being freed. I was trying to think of a question. How do you feel like the region feels right now? You've been in Southeast Asia for a long time. What's your perspective on the region right now here in Tour 3?
You mean in C?
Yeah, C in general.
I feel like it's still a very competitive region compared to like a lot of regions, right? Like China is not even that like scary
Yeah.
for like the big teams there, like Aster and all the other teams like IG. And in NA, it's not really that competitive like we have it here in C, I guess.
All right, fair enough.
I just feel like in C, it's like very tight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw that with this series. You guys are undefeated at the top of the entire group, and boom, just got promoted from Div 2, and it was still this close of a series, so just shows how tight it is. Since we probably won't get to speak to you again before you qualify, if assuming you do go to Bali, which team would you like to play against the most in international LAN?
I guess Tundra and GG.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're the strongest team. And Liquid, yeah.
Okay, yeah, so I was going to say, I'm surprised you picked Tundra over Liquid, but so the three Western European powerhouse teams are the ones you want to play?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's see if we can make it a reality. So far, you guys are looking pretty set to making it happen in Bali. DJ, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us, and congratulations on this win.
Yeah, thank you.
Catch you later. Finally, we get a chance to speak to the man, and we get to learn something that I've been also spreading this misinformation that he was like, no, I got to stay in Southeast Asia. I thought it was like a Mid-1 situation where Mid-1 was like, I want to make it in my home region. I thought that was the same thing for DJ, but I don't know how that got started.
Yeah, I think everyone just assumed because of his family. I think that's one big part as well.
He also stayed in Fnatic for a very long time.
He was, like you
It's
said,
very hard to believe that any team in their right mind looking for a +4 did not drop him a slide to his DMs.
surely
Literally
at some
any
point,
team.
any post-TI shuffle, you're going to be like, hey, what about DJ? He's like on Fnatic, right? Can we try getting him?
Yeah, but he never left.
There's no way no one approached him, no way.
Yeah, he must have been approached, but you know, the Fnatic was home for a while.
It was.
He had Neil, he had Bao, which apparently he doesn't care for too much. It could break your heart.
Well, that's why we always say that absence makes the heart grow fonder. And so maybe him spending so much time with these people, he's grown complacent. He doesn't know the
Suffering
impact
from
that it can have.
success.
Yeah.
Get me out of these interviews.
Yeah. But he has been freed, and that means that he comes back to the prison of winners interviews where we can really grill him. But it was a pleasure speaking to him and a pleasure watching Bleed get another 2-0 victory. So let's take a look at the day's results and see where we are after the end of day number 2, week number 2, the halfway point in our